and 9. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. From 7 to 9. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9. It's Tingle and Co. From 7 to 9, when you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby.
All right, welcome in here on this Tuesday morning as we are live from our Southern Regional Medical Center studios. Shout out to SRMC, Jason Ramazan, Charles Harvey, Kevin, BJ, the whole team over here. Charles and Jason are ready to talk some LSU football yesterday. Made their way into the studio as soon as we shut down shop yesterday morning to get here and chat it up with us about all the things changing here in Baton Rouge. But good morning to everyone in the chat here. Slat, Spivey, I thought I was late. No, sir, never late. Never late. Chick Magnet, 225-713. Morning, boys. Good morning to you.
Yes, sir.
Chick Magnet.
If I could super chat you, I would. Chick Magnet.
Sabrion Green, let's get it, let's go. Glimmer Fredette, it's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. Paulie Z, good morning. Glimmer, good morning. Bo, good morning. Everybody in here. Brian Burgess, good morning. It's good to see all of you in the chat here on this Tuesday after what was a fun Monday morning show yesterday, where we had some news break while Hunter Hall's on the phone. Hunter Hall's in the chat right now asking if LSU has hired James Franklin yet. No, sir, they haven't, and they better
they won't.
not. That would be, you want to talk about turning the page. All of the positivity around the moves now, firing BK. You're going to squander all that. You go ahead and hire James Franklin, who was just fired for essentially the same situation, just further up north. But good morning, Gage. Good morning, everybody in here. Lloyd, good morning. Christian, good morning. How are we feeling?
Christian feels weird.
Christian is feeling odd this morning.
It's okay, he's grown up.
He is.
His body is changing. Yeah. What? I didn't hear what you said. Your mic wasn't on.
That's not why you feel weird usually.
What, hungover?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not today. Look at me.
That was Mikey last night?
I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yes.
Mikey was great. Jay Bitch was great. Bryce Kuhn was great. He gave us the insider's inside of Panda Watch. And so we got to see that as he was on the beat. He may or may not. He also dropped this little tidbit, which I thought was interesting. And it shows that LSU reporting will go through. They know no bounds. As he goes, I may or may not have been or not have been. I don't know if it was even me. May have scoped outside of Brian Kelly's house that night as well. I was like, yes.
You got eyes everywhere, bro. It really was. I did the Waterboys College Football Show last night with Aaron, the guys that we did, Washed Up Sports Network, before Tech and Florida came to town at Pro Dreams in Baton Rouge. He was talking to me. He was like, we got off the air, and he was like, how's all this? I was like, dude, it is crazy. And he was telling me a story about when Lincoln Riley left at the stroke of midnight to go to USC, and when he was, because he covers Oklahoma, so he was on the
Radio
Oklahoma beat for that, and he was like, he said, I don't think I put my head to a pillow for 36 hours.
Yeah.
He was like, it was just, I was like, dude, it really is. Because, I mean, we were doing the show when O got fired, but it wasn't as crazy because O gets fired, but it's kept on as the interim and finishes out the season.
It was just a lame duck.
It was just a lame, yeah. It's
quack,
just
quack.
But he was a great duck as an interim coach. I mean, he's setting his jaw on the sideline against Alabama. So this is a completely
Set his
new
nose.
situation. Where then I also see a video last night on Twitter. They got cameras on him at the airport. He's boarding the plane and somebody's got their phone video.
BK?
Getting on the PJ.
I mean, he can't even. He was having a succulent Mexican meal.
Succulent margarita.
I mean, if there was, I don't know if it'd be. I don't know. It is an. It's an. It's
Look at this.
It's an expensive taste.
Somebody's zooming in on him, unpacking his car.
And for those that are, this man deserves privacy, or let him go.
I was kind of leaning on that, but I was like, this guy's such a piece of shit. I don't even.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't deserve anything. I'd like to. I just want to make sure he leaves.
The stories just keep coming out too. These stories are
Insane.
flowing.
And the thing with him is, and what we know and what we're continuing to hear is there's no reason to not believe any of them, right?
No, I mean, and that's I guess the craziest part, because a lot of times when coaches will get fired or something like this will happen. I remember when O got fired, and it was a mess at the end of O's tenure. He needed to be fired. It was an absolute mess. You saw multiple recruits, players, former players, talking about how upset they were, how much
There's
how much O
father.
meant to them, and none of that.
It's the opposite. Quite the opposite.
And then there's things coming out all these stories about the way he's handled these things wrong and all these bad. I was like, man, it's rough. It really is. So
rough for
I
who?
will say,
Rough for who?
for him. I mean, this is.
He doesn't care.
No, but I will say credit to the Notre Dame faithful that we ignored
Yeah, we didn't have
at
a choice.
first.
We thought one of us. Turns out, well, we have your back until we don't, and that we had his back for about 36 hours. And it was actually, he's not even going to come. Won't even take his hands out of his pockets.
Nope.
You can get back on the plane. Look, that's why they're doing that. They would make sure you get in the car.
Make sure they're going to
get in the plane. What plane did they use? PJ?
It looked like it.
I would say, I guess, one last trip.
But it's a new era for LSU football, and as much as yesterday we covered the situation and everything that was happening, there are so many other aspects to where LSU football is at right now. It is a huge task ahead of Louisiana State University when it comes to a lot of the things, a lot of the dominoes that are going to fall. Obviously, LSU is without a president, and with that, a lot of times the hiring of a new president can lead to athletic director, that'll lead to football coach. A lot of these dominoes are going to start to fall, and it's a very interesting place that LSU is in. And you're going to be sitting right here front row to witness it all, and we'll continue to discuss it all. Another thing that we didn't really get to yesterday was we didn't really talk about the football game at all, because LSU did indeed play a football game, at least half of one, Saturday night in Tiger Stadium against Texas A&M. And we talked about some of the parts of it that were the ugliest, like the fact that your stadium got taken over and your student section got taken over, and you still cannot stop a mobile quarterback. We didn't really talk about the ins and outs of the football game, and we did a pretty good job setting it up on Friday, and I wanted to rehash a couple of our points because I thought we made some pretty good ones. We obviously addressed the offensive line, which was expected to have a rough night going up against the A&M pass rush. You've got a redshirt freshman to your right and a true freshman to your left, and I think it was, the first or second drive, maybe the first drive, that you saw Carius Kern lined up against Howell 1v1, and I'm not sure if Kern even got a hand on him in that set, and Howell just runs right through the back of Garrett Nussmeier. It was ugly, and I when that was the first drive of the game, and I was like, oh no, this is going to be a long night. And then it happened on the right side later on in the game, and so you saw the offensive line once again just not be able to do their job in that football game. On top of that, We talk about Harlem Berry a lot, and Harlem Berry is an interesting piece of discussion because Wyatt put out the post on our social media, our Twitter page, and he said that whoever LSU hires, their first priority is making sure these guys are on the 2026 roster. And he includes Trey Green, Harlem Berry, DJ Pickett, and Whit Weeks. I'll just stop after the first three because I think this is a strong point around the fan base. Is you got to make sure you hold on to those three guys, right? Trey Green, Harlem Berry, DJ Pickett have been all eyes on 14, 22, and 3 because they've played excellent so far this season, and they are huge to the future of the program. And like Wyatt said in that post, that is the first order of business is making sure you can hold on to those three guys. Because
And that
they are huge to the future of this program.
and that's the more of a it's another indictment on BK because usually when you lose a head coach, that would be your biggest concern, right? It's like, oh man, all the guys that he's recruited, like you almost have like for a good chunk of maybe the end of the Les era and maybe kind of the back end of Ed's era. It was, I don't know if you can cut ties because you have to rebuild this recruiting class. And this is obviously pre-transfer portal, pre-NIL. But, like, Les was able to hold on to that job or hold on through some 8-5 seasons where it was like, I mean, but he's bringing in. And, like, that's when that's Russell Shepard. He's bringing in Patrick Peterson. He's bringing in. And it was like, okay.
Matthew, Leonard Fournette.
Right. And if you, Leonard Fournette being one of those where it's like, oh, you got to get him.
Yeah.
And I guess if you change head coaches, it makes it very easy for him to go to Alabama. And LSU was not in a state for that to happen. Now, I mean, with Brian Kelly, it's like none of those guys are going, I'm going to decommit because the head coach got fired, which is a wild thing to say. But it also is a coup for LSU to be able to, whoever the next guy is, look at who your staff is, and maybe you want to keep some of these guys around. DJ Pickett and Corey Raymond are tied at the hip. Frank Wilson and Harlem Berry are tied at the hip.
And that is probably one of the more interesting discussions that I've started to have over the last couple of days, of just people asking. Like, and I think it was Glenn West put it out, that is it like the last time LSU went through a coaching change, Blake Baker, Corey Raymond were a part of the staff that gets let go. They end up getting brought back, and now there's another coaching change. I think one of the more interesting aspects of this situation is what the retention of the staff looks like. Because I think a lot of people look at this defensive staff and say, if you're building a Louisiana defensive staff, this is kind of what I would picture it as. Like, I remember when the job first opened up, it was kind of like, hey, you'd probably go get Blake Baker, Bo Davis, and Corey Raymond. And then it was Corey Raymond's back, Blake Baker's back, Bo Davis back. It was like, oh, they 3 for 3. And now, obviously, Davis leaves, Kyle Williams comes in. I've heard nothing but glowing reports about Kyle Williams so far at LSU as the defensive line coach. It's going to be very interesting whoever gets this job. When they look at this staff, what do they say? Because in my opinion, if you look at this staff, the defensive staff on one side and say, well, can I really put one together that's better than this? And then I look at the offensive side of the ball, and there's changes that need to be made. But there's one guy that if I'm going to be successful at LSU, I'm keeping this man on staff, and that's Frank Wilson. And that's the part that I think is going to be so intriguing, whoever gets the job, is what they think when they look at this staff. Because can you put together a better one? And I think two guys that are non-negotiable are the ones you brought up. Frank Wilson and Corey Raymond are LSU through and through. And whoever gets this job, you hold on to those two guys. Because I don't know if you can find a better fit for LSU than those two guys. And the way I know that is because Corey Raymond was washed. Florida, he wasn't quite as successful. He comes back to LSU, and it's like, well, this is what we were missing. This is why we're not able to get – LSU can't get the top-tier defensive back recruits. In his first true cycle recruiting, who does he pull? The number one cornerback in the country in DJ Pickett, who walked into the facility with him Sunday night. You saw people players walking in together, and what was it? Sloan and Atkins rode together. Corey Raymond and DJ Pickett walked in together. Like when you say attached at the hip, that's my guy.
That's what goes to show is like they definitely had conversations previous to this, right? Like where they were already either together or like sit tight, young fella. I'm gonna come get you, and we'll get through. I'll get you there because there's a litany of stories we expect. Certainly with somebody of his regard of a 5-star that could go literally anywhere in the country.
Anywhere.
Corey is. Let me check on my guy. Like I'm gonna make one phone call. I don't really care what's going on over there. I'm gonna make sure
get this phone call.
Yeah, make sure Pickett's here and accounted for, and I'll ride with you.
Right.
Or like I'll come pick you up, because that's what you have to do and everywhere he's getting phone calls. Like,
oh my god,
what's going on at LSU? It's like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, get ready.
I mean,
and then it's Raymond. And it's like, coach, like, yeah, don't look, come on.
Those three names those three names are what every other fan base and team look at Brian Kelly being fired and they go, does that mean Harlan Berry, Trey Green, and DJ Pickett are up for grabs? Not if you can keep this staff intact. And that's my favorite part about the fact that Frank is the guy taking this thing over, is because every single player on that team has a relationship with Frank Wilson. The reason why you haven't seen this mass exodus and all of these is partly because Brian Kelly wasn't as involved in recruitments and what, but it's also because the guy that was handling all of it is the interim head football coach right now. Michael Cauble made the point in one of his stand-ups Sunday night. He said one of the things that Brian Kelly got knocked for was not knowing players' names. He stood up on the podium and didn't know the name of players or staffers or the numbers of players. There's one thing Frank Wilson's going to know. It's going to be the players' names, and he probably knows the players' parents' names because of how invested he is as a football coach. And that's the part where I made the post yesterday that LSU's in a better place than they were 24 hours prior, because now this LSU football program is left into the hands of Austin Thomas and Frank Wilson. Are there two people you're more comfortable with handling the program at the current standing than those two men?
No, not at all. Like that is what, and it's funny because you have a scenario in which you lose your head coach and it feels like almost a breath of fresh air. And there's not really any, it's not like he got poached. It's not what they had going on with, Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma, where it's like,
right.
Oh, I don't want him to go.
Right.
It's not that. LSU has always been the one to chop the head off the snake. It's like you've overstayed your welcome here, or it's become stale and you're going to get somebody else. It's never somebody poached him from us unless it was the Miami Dolphins.
Right.
And so to have it this way, it's like, okay, it feels like there's always a contingency plan a little bit in place, and it's usually Frank Wilson. And to be able to if you question, which I don't think anybody does, the love that Corey Raymond, Frank Wilson, Austin Thomas have for LSU, Austin Thomas has left and come back three different times.
Right.
Frank Wilson has been through a litany of coaching changes. Corey Raymond left and came back after he was treated horribly. And then he still said, I'll come back for LSU, not for you.
Right.
And he was to the point where when Brian Kelly got here, he didn't even tell Corey Raymond what he was going to do. He was just like, do I coach here? Like, you're just not even going to talk to me. And he did the same thing with Baker, where it's like, I mean, y'all can figure it out, right? Like, I don't have to have a meeting with you for you to know what's going on. It's like, do you know who I am, cuz? Like, okay.
Right.
I'll go to Florida. And then guess what? You're going to have to call me back.
You got to ring this phone.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that was a very fun conversation to hear.
Well, not only that, but people like to talk about, do players commit to schools or to coaches now? And I think a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon that players commit to LSU. No, I think they just commit to other coaches at LSU. I don't know if this is a school thing, because we've seen players jump ship before, whether it was Eli Ricks or whoever you want to name from the 2020-2021 season, but people are committing to Frank Wilson and other coaches, not Brian Kelly.
Yeah, and what they're selling is like the school,
Of course.
but
Sure,
it's
but
what-
it's
yeah,
another coach.
Yeah, it's what that's what their like, that's what their calling card is. Is
Right.
to, not only to be able to pitch you what you can do at any university. Like if you put any polo on Frank Wilson, he's going to sell you a vision. That's
yeah.
so you're committing to him.
But when he
it
throws
hit-
on that leather jacket,
yeah, it's game time, cuz.
it's a little bit different when they're pitching LSU.
The things that they actually believe in, and I
Right.
still think that there is something to be said about. Not a lot of places can still do it, but LSU is one of them where the culture here, and that's why ultimately you wanted to see Brian Kelly go, because he was ruining the one thing that was still remained sacred, and what was LSU was. It was Death Valley. It was Tiger Stadium at night. It was not Texas A&M taking over your student section or
Right.
singing your fight song for you. Like that is a fireable offense. And it
Yeah.
ultimately, what it was. That's why I'll continue to say we'll remember this for legions of time as the day Texas A&M actually, as much as you won on the field, you lost.
No, it was a legitimate wake up call of like, okay, this can't continue to move forward, because that was, and we talked about it on Friday, I think Thursday
Don't
and
poke the
Friday.
bear.
I said my fear is if you lose on Saturday to Texas A&M, regardless of how it looks, what happens after? And that's why there was a relief for me on Sunday when Kelly was let go, because you had to stop the crumble where it was, because it had already been set back. That's what I told Aaron when I was on his pod yesterday. LSU was no longer LSU. In back-to-back weeks, you witnessed it with your own two eyes. Vanderbilt was more physical and was able to handle business against LSU, and then Texas A&M punked LSU in Death Valley and took over the stadium. Those things don't happen here. And so you had to stop the crumble, because you had already fallen. You had to stop the fall. And the only way to do that was to fire Brian Kelly. And it was a whirlwind of a decision on Sunday, because as most of you have heard from other shows or anyone that has talked about it, it happened fast on Sunday, because Sunday morning, that wasn't really the plan. They didn't wake up Sunday morning saying that it was Brian Kelly was cooked. There were some things that continued to move forward, and then it was like, okay, let's put this money together. They have a meeting at the governor's mansion, and it's done, because it had to be, because it was very apparent that it was in a bad place, and it was only going to get worse. The way it looked against A&M was not rock bottom as much as it felt like it. It could have gotten much worse, and it had to happen. It had to happen. And now looking forward, you are in a better place, because now the culture of LSU is at the forefront. When I think about the embodiment of LSU and the culture of the LSU football program, there are not many people that get it better than Frank Wilson. And that's why he's been able to recruit the way he has to LSU. You're really, the sign of a good salesman is when they truly believe in the product in which they are selling. That's why Pierce Patterson is so great at CAS. When you are able to really believe in the product you're selling, you're a better salesman, regardless of your ability to talk or speak or display things. Frank Wilson is such a good recruiter at LSU because he is all in on the pitch. He truly believes what he is preaching to these young men. That is where LSU is currently at. They have the culture back at the forefront. LSU football is back on the pedestal. It is no longer a one man on the pedestal. Brian Kelly coached for Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly looked out for Brian Kelly. Frank Wilson is LSU through and through. And that's where the program is right now. The program is in a better place because you got LSU football back at the forefront. with a guy like Frank Wilson. And I'm not saying they're going to go 4-0 and beat Alabama on the road and handle and hold on to the Golden Boot and go take down Oklahoma and Norman. It's not. I don't. The wins and losses. It's about bringing the culture back that is LSU football. And there is not a man that knows it better than Frank Wilson. And that's who's in charge right now. It was a huge decision that had to be made. And like we said yesterday, that I don't think they make a decision like this if there's not thoughts about. They don't make a decision like this if Frank Wilson's not on the roster, right? On the staff. Like, if you don't have the guy that you can just say, oh, no, we've got our guy that's going to handle business and hold the rope from here on out, you probably wait until the season's over. But when you've got your guy, when you've got Frank Wilson on staff, you can say, you know what? The program will actually be in a better place if we fire the coach in season.
I don't know exactly. And this is where Brian Kelly, you're a victim of your own demise, because you should have been paying attention to what was going on around you. Like, if you weren't, first of all, you should have never gotten rid of these people. But maybe that's why he did in the first place, was just in case if I don't want to do this job as hard as I think probably they want me to, if I don't really want to try, because it's hard to say he gave full effort. There's more reports coming out that he was not the most, present coach even at practices. Like, this is, you can, and like I said, you could say anything and I'll believe it at this point, because it's kind of like the end of the O tenure when it was, he's bringing his floozies kids to practice and letting them, run through the facilities. I doubt that happened, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
He treated the program like a playground. Brian Kelly doesn't even want to go to school. And so if that's the case, then you have Scott Woodward that says, what are you doing hiring these people? And it was probably to protect himself of all right, if they ever try to fire me, who are they going to replace me with? And turns out, if you can't win with your guys, then I'm going to make some changes that I'm going to put the program in a better place, that at least we can recruit it. At least there's a culture and a brand that people want to be around. But BK tried to lop off that too, where he didn't let former players in the building.
Right.
Which is the antithesis of what Ed O had to bring back from Les. Les at least let you go work out. Brian Kelly wouldn't let you in the building. He wouldn't let you go to the place that you built. The place that, the reason that you wanted, quote unquote, this job was built by them.
Right. They've
earned every fucking second they want to spend in there. You don't get to make the call of, I don't get to go in here. And that's where you get off on the wrong foot from the rip. And now you don't think Frank Wilson's going to let him back in?
Right.
Good to see you boys. Let's change this shit real quick. I need your help.
Yeah.
And that's where Frank is the man for the job. Whenever you look around, you go, okay, I could pick Corey Raymond. I could pick Frank Wilson. Hell, I could pick Austin Thomas to do this. So LSU is in a very good spot to not only get, even if you didn't have Frank and it was just BK leaving, you're already in a better spot. You're a better football team today than you were Saturday, regardless of who it is. But yeah, it is Frank Wilson, and if I had one man to pick to be able to save the culture of LSU, you goddamn right it's Frank Wilson. This is what he's here for.
Right.
And he looks forward to this opportunity to finally not look around, or can I speak? Or am I, hey, we don't do that here. It's yes, we do.
Well, it's because now it is. We've always talked about the LSU program being the program. That's what it is. You're not getting Frank Wilson trying to run things the Frank Wilson way. Now, is Frank Wilson going to be himself? Of course. Frank Wilson's going to run things the LSU way because Frank Wilson is
knows
LSU.
The LSU.
They're synonymous. That's why it was odd looking at him in McNeese attire when he was the head football coach there. It was because in my mind, Frank Wilson is synonymous with LSU. And that's the part I'm most excited about, what this last month of the season is going to look like, is because I have full faith that Frank is going to get LSU back on track to building into the direction they're going to go. And whoever the next coach is going to be better off because Frank Wilson is taking over right now. Whoever gets the job is going to be better off. Now, obviously, it still falls on their lap. Like, they have to accept that, and they have to still be okay with the fact that the LSU program is the LSU program. But the next coach is better off because Frank Wilson's going to build the LSU culture back to where it needs to be over this next month. That's my anticipation.
He's there to help you, not to hurt you. He's not somebody that's gunning for your job. He's tried to be a head coach before. He's given it his full swing. And I'm sure there will be conversations because this happens every time, right? If you're an interim coach and you have been given the opportunity to be the head coach at LSU,
right,
interim tag or not, you're saying in the back of your mind, the recesses of your brain are going, if I went out, maybe. Like, don't think everybody gets into coaching doesn't want to be a head coach. Now, for Frank, he's done it before. But that doesn't mean he's never thought and dreamed about putting on the head coach hat at LSU.
Right.
But where it currently stands and him as an interim coach, you know that he's going to get you ready to play football because that's what this man does.
Our responsibilities, your style of play, your maturity, whomever the opponent is, they're nameless, they're faceless. Anybody could get it. It don't matter how old, how young, how big, how small. When you step between the stripes of that field, you can get it. You can get it. And they got to get it. And so your ability to be mature enough to go take care of the business at hand is critical. It's critical that you understand that. It's critical that you do that. To have tunnel vision and total focus. I don't care if it's the New York Giants or the Pee Wee League. They step on that field between the stripes of that line, they gotta get it. They gotta get it. And so to be focused on the task at hand, I get it, I understand the assignment given to me. It is my job to go out and execute it. What are we looking for in this day?
That man's going to get you ready.
I mean, and could it line up any better that it's going to start with a road trip to Tuscaloosa?
No.
Just from painting the picture of it all. His first opportunity to be the head man and to get the opportunity to lead the purple and gold, the Fighting Tigers, out on the football field is into Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Now, look, I'm not saying that the LSU's going to go out there and whoop the elephant's tail.
But they can get it.
But they can get it. When they line up between those lines, anybody can get it. I'm excited for what it's going to look like under Frank Wilson. I'm excited for the future of LSU football, not only because you're able to turn the page from Brian Kelly, but I know the rope is going to be held. And the build back to what LSU used to be will begin because Frank Wilson's at the helm.
Build back better. Was that Kamala's campaign slogan? Build back better. Or is that Obama? That might have been Obama, huh?
Sure.
Maybe.
Let's roll with it.
LSU should build back better.
Build back better. Let's go.
Bring the culture of LSU football back, and there's not a man
Make LSU great again.
that is more fit to do it than Frank Wilson.
And I would imagine we can ask our resident Gump here. Hunter Hall, were you more excited to play against LSU with Brian Kelly at the helm or now with LSU with Frank Wilson at the helm? Because what you were about to play, you were going to put up probably 35 and LSU was going to score 3. And it could be worse than that. Now, I don't know if you know. Honest to God, I don't think it's going to – that was a guaranteed L for LSU. There was
they were walking into
back.
a massacre.
There was no, right the ship here and try to, end the season the right way and be able to find a win. Like, if you can't get up for Alabama, what can you get up for? None of that shit. Now it's Frank Wilson lead the charge. You got 2 weeks to get you ready. And you can't tell me those boys aren't ready to go to practice.
At least – one thing that I am confident in is the mentality will be different. LSU football.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you step between those lines,
you can get it.
Anybody can get it. That's where the excitement comes from.
He's a leader of men.
Yes.
That's what it looks like. It's not grabbing people on the sidelines, telling them they're fucking uncoachable. Like the tirades that have been coming out from Brian Kelly's tenure, whether it be at Cincinnati or Notre Dame, like that man, that's not how you do it.
No.
Like you can get as mad, and I know Nick Saban got mad on the sidelines. He didn't grab kids.
Well,
he didn't put his hands on you.
And there's a difference between
He doesn't
when
respect.
the only interaction you have
Right.
is that.
He's a bad dad.
That shows a lack of respect, and that to me, respect is the word that stands out more than anything in this current situation. Is that there was a lack of respect between
Coach and player.
BK to his players, BK to his assistant coaches, and BK to the program. And with that, how long can you expect me to respect you if you don't respect me?
And I never respected you.
And when
It's hard for
the
you to win
only
me
time
over.
you get on Joe Sloan's microphone isn't to discuss the play calls, to say, "What the F, Joe? We can't do that," for the TV cameras to see. Now, I don't know if he walked over there to the special teams coordinator after the punt block. I hope he did, because if he didn't, and the only thing he did was walk over there after the punt return, that's all you got to say. That's all you need to see. And now I know that LSU has a leader of men in charge. And it was put in the chat. Jared Hills asked if LSU can hold on to their players. The reason that I have confidence in that fact is, one, because not many of them have come out and been vocal about the change. And two, Frank's in charge. Who was the coach that stayed on the sideline and dapped them all up after the game on Saturday? And stayed out there for the alma mater on Saturday? It was Frank Wilson. Now, things happen when a new coach comes in and there's going to be roster turnover. That happens. There's going to be staff turnover. If you hold on to Frank Wilson at LSU, you're in a pretty good spot. I remember when the announcement was made that Frank was coming back to coach for BK. It made me feel a whole lot better about the situation that LSU was in. That's how powerful that one man is.
Yeah, I don't have the same sentiment I had for other coaches. Like whenever Ed left, like you knew that he was, even at the end of his tenure, you knew that he was still recruiting it. He was still kind of, I don't want to say in charge of that, but that was something that you knew people had a relationship with, recruits had a relationship with, players had a relationship with. And they didn't want to see him go, but they also understood it was the writing was on the wall. This doesn't affect a player, a coach, in any capacity. This is just dead weight that is now cut, and he's flying back to Massachusetts where he's always wanted to be. I'm just a guy from Boston. Nobody's going to laugh at anything I have to say because I'm a prick. Yeah, we know. Go home. Enjoy that last flight.
Hop on that PJ.
And guess what? Whoever's flying that thing is turning that shit right back around.
Spivey Claus to the chat. Forgot about this. Wide receiver from LA Tech just switched to LSU. Yeah.
You've
The day
gained
after Brian
players.
Kelly got fired.
You saw a flip. A recruiting flip.
I guess that was what he was waiting on.
Yeah, I would go here if you make a couple changes.
Yeah.
And then, you even had Caden Durham. I know this doesn't hold much weight, but he had posted DeCorey and Moore at Oregon. It's like, that man wants to come home.
Hey, he posted a picture of him and Frank. That's his guy. I'm telling you, there's not many coaches in America that have a better relationship with their players than Frank Wilson does.
There's only one Godfather.
That's who he is.
He sounded like Denzel Washington
What?
in that speech.
I know, but the thing is, it's
real.
It's not fake.
I've never heard Denzel say anything and me not believe him, or him playing a role and be like, "That's Denzel
Right,
Washington."
right.
Even as famous as he is,
Right.
I'm like, King Kong ain't got shit on me. Like, yes sir, I believe you. Like whether he was pushing weight or he was the head coach at Booker T. Like, that's a man that knows how to sell a message, and like you said, he believes what he's saying.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be such a breath of fresh air to be able to walk into that building, and that's the first one you see. But it wasn't going to be BK anyway. But at least he's not coming up to the name one time you saw Brian Kelly speak, and it was met with, like, even his motivational speeches were like a business rally.
Right.
It was like do your job.
They're like the Forex traders that get up there. And
Yeah, he was Balmer. He wasn't even that. Like, Balmer's more exciting.
Yeah, at least
he
he's
fucking believed in his
Balmer's
product.
genuine,
Yes.
right.
Microsoft.
And that's what.
I have 5 words for you.
That's what.
I love this company.
I mean, genuine.
It was.
But that's what I'm excited because I believe Frank meets with the media tonight.
He does.
He has a press conference tonight, and
He will be prepared.
he's going to be. But
He
I
doesn't
tell you
have to
one
do
thing,
anything.
The vibe in that conference room is going to be a whole lot smoother than it has been for a while.
Caldwell's going to be dancing in there.
There's no.
Caldwell's going to walk in hitting a gritty or something.
Well,
That man's gonna be
because
happy.
Frank's not going to say you guys are spoiled. He's going to be like, I'm the one that spoiled y'all. I'm the one that
I
gave
want you to
Leonard
be.
Fournette.
I want you to
should
be spoiled. I want you to be spoiled.
This is LSU football.
All right, I hope he doesn't say that, though.
Well, he's not going to say that.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't.
I'm just saying the mindset.
He's not going to have anything that is.
There's not going to be any.
We want to thank Coach Kelly for the work he's done
probably
here.
say that.
Oh,
the last
yeah.
3
I mean, of
years.
course, that'll be said.
Clean up.
But I'm excited to see Frank take the podium. I'm excited that Frank is going. I know Frank is going to answer questions and interact with the reporters the way he has his entire time at LSU with the utmost respect. Because Frank understands the ins and outs of all of this. And
Well, Brian Kelly did too.
Huh?
I mean, somewhat. He
What?
didn't understand the ins and outs of Louisiana.
No, but of getting interviewed and doing the speeches and
Right. No, he
knew that part
BK
very well.
understands being,
He knew that part very well.
but he didn't understand. He doesn't understand this place
No.
because this is just a little bit different. So I'm excited for what it's going to look like to close out the season with Frank Wilson. I think that they're going to play with a completely different mentality than what has been because you're going to be fighting for a guy that you know has fought for you.
I'm interested to see, or I guess we'll never know, but like if Brian Kelly had like a team of like PR people, like somebody that was trying to help him deliver messages or what to say, because clearly he didn't know what he was talking about, but he came up with like buzzwords of we're going to be everything that was trending on Twitter about being physical. And all of a sudden it comes up, we're going to be more physical. Like, we figured it out. I didn't see that. I saw you got bent over and raped. Like, you didn't even have a prayer. You didn't even put up a fight. There was no. You weren't more physical than anyone. I mean, like, you just bent over and took it.
Okay.
And
the first
it
half
was
of the-
like, the last thing he says is be more physical.
Right. No, he said they
You got out physical, and I'll put it that way.
They had found their physicality
Huh?
in the week before A&M, and I didn't see it.
No.
Now, the way they played that first half, I loved. They fought. They made plays. Mansour Delane tip right into Perk's hands, interception. You block a punt. A.J. Halsey picks one off in the end zone. You see
Harlan Berry.
Nuss throw the ball down the field. Harlan Berry's breaking off 7 yards of carry.
And then it all went away.
But then in the second half, when you got punched in the mouth, and then it didn't go well, and then you got an uppercut on the punt return, you crumbled. And that's the part to me that changes with Frank Wilson at the helm. Is when those things happen and the crumble begins, that crumble starts because, wait, why am I fighting for him? Why am I going to fight back and punch back for a head coach that wouldn't do the same? Now you have a coach that you're bought in, and you know there's a respect factor. Does Frank use the word complimentary football today in his press conference?
I don't know, but I'll believe it when he says it.
Right. It'll come across a little bit different.
A&M
In terms of,
what?
in terms of,
In
terms of jerking you off.
Yeah, he was. He had a lot. I'm saying he had a lot of buzzwords that would get him around and get him to the end of the press.
Relative to. That's a good one.
That's a huge. And I don't. I
cut enough pressers.
Yeah, and I don't have to hear those anymore. Thank God.
Yeah, you're gonna get to cut a Frank Wilson presser tonight, Chrissy.
How do we? How?
We'll figure that out. What were the numbers you're about to throw at us?
Oh, talking about being out physical. The last 2 times you played Tommy Moffitt.
Yeah.
And I know that this has been blown out of proportion because you can't, let's not have revisionist history here.
Right.
The last couple.
And I love Tommy Moffitt.
I know, but it was a good change I think it was a change of pace for him and for LSU, I guess.
It was good for Tommy Moffitt and for Texas A&M.
Yeah, not great for LSU, Bob.
Right.
But
like Rohan said, you need to interview him. You needed to interview him.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing with all of those guys. He didn't talk to anybody. It's insane.
Mess.
But it's been 60-6 in the second half.
Oh, gosh.
But A&M did that to you.
60-6.
And you just did tough.
You've given up 60 points in those 2 second halves combined. Oh gosh, that is no, that's bad. It's
a bad thing. Yes, we're not. Yeah, that was a bad thing.
60-6 is embarrassing. So I'm excited about what the mentality looks like because I know the players are going to go out there and they're going to fight for Frank Wilson.
Oh, excuse me, 60-13.
Yeah, because you scored.
Yeah, I don't know if that. Yeah, well. Kind of want to give them those points. They cheered for it, not us. It's embarrassing.
They did the TIGERS, not
they do it well because they've heard it a lot.
They have.
But not
every time they've ever been in Death Valley. Every time they'd ever been in Death Valley, they heard it. I think, I was doing the math in my head. I think I had been to every A&M game since 2012.
Yeah, and I'd never been there.
Death Valley, and I was like, I've never left.
That's
after a loss.
And that's the one thing you could hang your hat on was at least even when A&M you've ruined their seasons multiple times.
2021, LSU is 5-6, and A&M's the number 15 team in the country.
Got him.
Jeray Jenkins sideline push off touchdown, game over. Josh Ray Kirkland's dancing on the sidelines in the icy whites.
And that
LSU's bowl eligible.
And that was that not Ed's what?
Ed was interim.
Interim Ed, yeah.
Done. That was his last game as the LSU football coach.
And he still got them to get up and play. Whenever Les Miles was going to get fired.
He gets carried off by Shaq.
And guess who you beat, though? Texas A&M. This is, even when LSU was at its lowest, and I contend that this is at the lowest. Brian, I know you've seen some lower points. I get it. You've been around you've been around the sun a couple of times now. For my liking, my lifetime, what I've seen as an LSU fan and the legacy of LSU and Texas A&M, and certainly since they joined the SEC, but even in my life of watching LSU football, that was as low as it's ever been. Just everything around it. And
that was low relative to
the standard of LSU football and what we prepare to compete for. And listen, if you know one thing about me, we're going to graduate champions. And I'm not even done collecting all my wins yet.
No one cares about graduation here, Brian.
Yeah, they better rip up that pass shit real quick.
Nobody cares about graduation.
How did he not know that?
Half the people in the stadium that go to the games haven't even been to college.
No, we weld.
Yeah.
we build roofs.
Fix your AC.
Yeah.
Roof.
We
do inflatables.
Shout out.
Get our hands dirty, Brian.
All About Inflatables brings you our show every single day. AllAboutInflatablesDS.com. Shout out to Gabe Patterson over at All About Inflatables, the event rentals. Go to AllAboutInflatablesDS.com or call 225-667-2386. AllAboutInflatablesDS.com. Hit that big red Book Now button, and it'll take you through the process of renting your inflatable. But even as it gets to the cooler part of the year, and the inflatables, the timeline shifts away from the water slides, the team over at All About now has a new venture, All About Holiday Lighting, and they have been out there grinding the last couple of weeks. They put some lights up last night on a house, call 225-276-0608 or email info@allaboutholidaylighting.com. The website is allaboutholidaylighting.com. They do a great job. It's beautiful work. They do design, installation. They will store the lights for you. You'll get free estimates for both residential and commercial. If your neighborhood requires holiday lighting, or if you just want to spice up the house for the holiday season, check out All About Holiday Lighting. We'll take a quick break here as we've creeped right up on hour number 2 and be right back with more Tingle & Co. right after this.
Wardos was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Granning at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff.
Where everyone is family.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's a repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
People will roar to your plate. The noise you make with your helmet and shoulder pads, the speed and you fly by them in the midst of it all. That's what's gonna do it. That's what dictates the temperament and the tone of the game. That's it. It ain't the band. It ain't the music. It's the sound of sweet joy. And you signed up for it. That you chose violence. I chose to do this. You gotta do this. I chose to be violent. I'm a modern day warrior. People will
I tell you what, shout out to Frank, man. That is that'll fire you up 10 times out of 10. Getting ready to go to battle. Hey, in a football game, it's war. I'm excited to see what Frank Wilson does with this LSU football program over the next month, because that is the culture that needs to be brought back. That is the mindset, the mentality that needs to be brought back to those 3 letters and those 2 colors. What did Lamine Barrow say? When you play LSU, 2 things happen. You either get beat,
you get beat up.
or you get beat up. And that's where LSU's got to get back to, and Frank Wilson being in charge, as you can see right there. That's the mindset of the new interim head football coach of LSU football. That gets you back in that place. So we appreciate everybody joining us this morning, hanging out with us here on this Tuesday morning. If you are new here, make sure you like, subscribe, get active in the chat. We love to see the names, faces, and profile pictures over there, getting active, chatting it up. And make sure you subscribe, because it's going to be quite the couple of months here when it comes to LSU football. All the changes that are happening, obviously, Sunday night, the head coach is fired. Yesterday, the OC is fired. And as time goes on, there will be more and more changes. One of the biggest ones at the university is the hiring of a new university president. Obviously, William Tate was the former president. He is now at Rutgers. He's the president there. I believe his alma mater, Rutgers. And LSU has had an interim president for a while. They are on the hunt for a new president, and I believe, from what I've heard, Wade Roos is the name of the current. That's the name I've heard for the job. Dr. Wade Roos, who is currently the president at McNeese. Is the name I've heard for the LSU president position. And with that, we'll follow dominoes, most likely the athletic director spot. There's been a lot made of Scott Woodward and his time at LSU. It's not the best PR that the 2 largest buyouts were what, Jimbo Fisher at 70-something, and then Brian Kelly right there at 50. Those are both Scott Woodward hires. Not exactly the best PR, even though I don't solely blame Scott Woodward for what happened, because he bet on BK, the winningest, most active head football coach, and he came to LSU and just didn't care. That's not Scott's fault, but it's not the best PR, and I know there have been some differences between the governor and Scott Woodward as well, and we'll see how things continue to go. But the next domino to fall will be the hiring of a new president, and after that, more things will happen as changes continue to be made at LSU. Just be on the lookout for the name Wade Roos. Dr. Wade Roos is the one that I've heard for that president position for LSU, as that is a position appointed by the Board of Supervisors, who are ultimately chosen and are an extension of the governor, who has been very active in this current state of LSU athletics. But that's the future of LSU. This current state of LSU is in the hands of Frank Wilson and Austin Thomas, and if you want to find out how excited we are about that, just go ahead and rewind about an hour, and you'll hear the excitement about those 2 guys in the position that they are going to put LSU in. I wanted to ask you, Lloyd. Obviously, yesterday we discussed where we thought LSU was going to go with this hire of a new head football coach, that it feels like the timing and just from some chatter that it's a Lane Kiffin or bust kind of mindset. But taking everything out of it, if you are looking at this job, what are some of the names, and I'll ask the chat as well to drop some names in the chat, that you're looking at as the next head football coach of LSU football?
I'm not so much obsessed with the name as I am the person and what they want to, what they understand about where they're coming into, because that's what ultimately got you burned. Whether it was Nick Saban, Les Miles, Ed Orgeron. It wasn't the fact that there was never a fit, right? The fits don't exist. It's understanding where your feet are, what you want to do with why you take this job. You got burned by Brian Kelly because he was trying to use LSU as opposed to try to build LSU up. And that's where we had this conversation with Jared and Mikey last night, and I thought it was an interesting one. It's because Jared put it as, and I thought this was spot on, LSU is not a place for made men, quote unquote. Somebody that is because what do you hear every time? You need to get somebody established. You need to have a for sure head coach. You hear all of these things. That's what everybody wants. And it's like, I'm not necessarily prescribed to the made man theory. You need somebody that, I don't want to say hungry, but not somebody that has, whether he wins or loses, his legacy is already defined. Like that, you would want to, obviously, in a perfect world, you go get an established head coach, and he comes into a place like LSU, and because LSU is LSU, you're able to manage this thing and go win. But at the end of the day, if you can be checked out, if you can do what just happened, Brian Kelly's legacy isn't tarnished. He'll just be known as a college football Hall of Fame head coach that never won a championship. Woohoo. But if you bring in somebody that, and it doesn't have to be young up-and-comer, it just has to be somebody that's hungry, somebody that looks at the landscape of college football, understands what it is to be a college head coach, and wants to do it. Like, look at the resume of Nick Saban before he got to LSU. Look at the resume of Les Miles before he got to LSU. Ed Orgeron, very well known what he did before he got to LSU.
And it was not very good.
But look at what he was able to do.
Right.
And it only takes one, and people will be happy. They all got you one. You went and got a made man, set the program back. And so that's where I prescribe to the theory of, it doesn't have to be who's the best name, who's the best head coach out there, who is it? I mean, whenever we had this conversation when it was Brian Kelly or Lincoln Riley, would people be happy with Lincoln Riley right now?
I don't think so.
No, but that was the best name.
Right.
And so you have to be able to identify what makes sense when you come to a place like LSU, because there's a reason people say it's different. It's because it is. And you have to have somebody that understands what it is to be here, to have relationships with former players, to have relationships with the people that are on staff, to understand that when you were coaching against LSU, that all can be yours.
Right. And
you can use that to the team, the state's advantage, not as just, well, I hope they show up and, this could prop me up. I can get my national championship. I can get my wins.
Right.
You have to be a part of what it is to be here.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
No, I mean, and Nick laid the blueprint down in the early 2000s.
And have times changed? Yes.
But it's still LSU. Like, it's still, and because times have changed for baseball as well, and that mindset we're talking about is present on campus. We've talked about it ad nauseum, and I know you can maybe get tired of hearing it, and I don't know how, but Jay Johnson is setting the example with LSU baseball. He showed up. He's an out-of-towner. He's not a Southern guy. He's not a Louisiana guy. And was he proven somewhat before? He'd made Omaha a handful of times, made the College World Series. He had made his runs, but he wasn't the big name splash hire. He wasn't Tim Corbin or Tony Vitello or Pat Casey, these names that were getting thrown around for the job.
Mike Bianco.
It wasn't this big splash hire. It was, Jay Johnson. He's actually done pretty good at Arizona. Then he shows up here, and what does he do? He buys in to what LSU baseball is, and he is hungry, starving for success. And after he won in 2023, he got even hungry. That's what LSU is. And that's the example that LSU football is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the same way. You have to get somebody here, and I love the made man example. You have to show up at LSU hungry, determined, goal-oriented. Not here to collect a check. Not here to see how LSU can boost your resume. LSU is an opportunity and a blessing, and it needs to be treated as such because it's one of the best jobs, if not the best job in the sport. And I'm excited to see who it is because that's what you are going after. It's got to be somebody hungry. And that's what I think a handful of the names that have been thrown out there are kind of focused on. A lot of times it kind of skews younger because you look at younger coaches as being hungrier because they haven't really, I guess, achieved much yet up to this point. But I think that's the reason why people are obsessed with the idea of Dan Lanning, because he's hungry. Mm-hmm. And like he got his opportunity at Oregon, he's taken full advantage of it, and he's got that mindset about him. He's a Kirby Smart, Nick Saban disciple. I think that's the reason why Kenny Dillingham's name gets brought up, because that's a coach that's hungry. Now, he's an Arizona State alum, and I'm not saying LSU can't go and pluck Arizona State's coach. If they really wanted Kenny Dillingham, I think they could probably make that happen. But I think
I don't know.
He's an Arizona State guy.
He's from there.
Right. I think that's the reason why you see a name like Jeff Sumrall from Tulane. That's a hungry, he's younger, he's a hungry, goal-oriented head coach that's got that passion, that fire. I think that's why that's why Shep's name gets thrown around as much as it does, because that's what you see. I mean, what was the quote after the Ravens-Lions Monday Night Football game? He was like, he only slept for 8 hours that week trying to prepare for Lamar Jackson.
Worth it.
That's hunger. Starving for success. That's what LSU needs. Somebody that is goal-oriented and is here to take full advantage of the opportunity. Not take advantage of everyone involved. And so I'm excited to see who it is. I think that that Lane Kiffin is the thought process. That's what I've heard, and that's just when I put the pieces together of why you make this firing, this decision now, is to get yourself in the mix for Lane. But I'm not of the mindset that if you don't get Lane, it's a failure. Because I think there are other guys that fit that goal-oriented, hungry criteria. Shep and Summerall are two that pop into my mind quickly. They are younger, but they're hungry, they're goal-oriented, and they have that mindset that we were talking about, like with a guy like Frank Wilson. You've got to have a passion about you to be the LSU head football coach. And I don't believe BK had that passion.
Not at all. And that's people can blame Woodward, and you can look a million different ways as to why it didn't work. Or, okay, how did you not identify this? Look, he sold you a bill of goods, man.
Right.
Like if Brian Kelly can do anything, he can try to talk it. And then on paper, which is why you have to do your due diligence, and probably, like, it's so easy now to look at it and see this would never, and there was that sentiment out there. But what you needed was somebody that was a man that he almost overdid his job and what was asked of him. It's like, you need to change the culture around LSU. I don't know if he took that too literally. I'm changing everything. He's
Right.
like, no, not literally change LSU, just change like this little pocket of
Just
what.
clean it up a little bit.
Clean it up.
Tiny
Yeah.
box.
We don't need to. We're not exactly. We're not trying to shirt and tie this school. Like, we're not putting new rules up and repainting the walls. But that's exactly what he did. And at some point, it became okay if that's the way you want to do it. But then it became too much of an undertaking for him. You have to continue to talk about team leaders and spark groups and vitamins and minerals and doing what they need to do to get on the field for LSU and graduate champions. Like, this is not it. But you need somebody that is passionate about it. And that's why it's like, I know that people are going to, like, laugh at the claim of coach, like, can't hire a first-time head coach, but why not? Tell me.
If LSU was ever in the position, it's where they're at right now.
You just got, like, it goes to show, it's kind of the point I was trying to make. It goes to show that, yeah, you can get burned either way. Like, at some point, you do have to take a chance. And if you feel like you've identified the right guy, don't let it be like, it can't be a guy just because he went to Tulane, just because he's at Tulane. Like that, hire the best guy for the job. Like, all these, like, they didn't want to hire Jay Johnson because he couldn't recruit SEC talent. Okay, that seems to not be very true. Like, the guys that are good at the job are good at the job for a reason,
right.
and but then you have to identify why they're good at the job. It's not just because, he won a lot. How'd he win? Why'd he win? Did he build something? Like, those are all things that you have to take into consideration. Brian Kelly checked a lot of those boxes.
Right.
And then it became how he got fooled in terms of what it is. He goes, well, he has one thing left to do that I know I can help provide. And then it just took on this bloated $100 million man that said, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I mean,
if y'all want to delegate, I'll delegate.
Talk about drive, he had none.
None.
And
he could get away with it.
Right, and that's the conversation, the chef's conversation where, like, I look at that situation and I go, look at Clark Lee at Vanderbilt.
Right.
What is that? That's a
culture changer.
It's a former Vanderbilt Commodore that knows the program, loves the program, and that's almost the like, not to say that LSU's following the Vanderbilt model if they make that decision, but where LSU football's at right now, you need that culture back. And that hunger, that drive, Shep checks a lot of those boxes. Hungry, determined, and he knows LSU football. You know how I know that? How do you know Shep knows LSU football?
I don't know, maybe because of this.
Get your piss hot! Win the fight! So you want to...
Oh, can't play that.
We'll just talk over it, huh? Put some of our own music behind it. But, I mean, this is... You want to bring the mentality back of what LSU football is.
But, I mean, yeah, it's not only because he played here and he played at an elite level as a middle linebacker. He understands defense. Look at what he's done in Detroit in 1 year in a place where they said, what are you going to do without Aaron Glenn? Like, that defense is going to take a step back. It's gotten better. And it's because he wants the job. He wanted to do that. He knows he can. And there's people that think, look at the direction college football is going. Kenny Dillingham.
Right.
Clark Lee. It's people that gave a fuck about the university they went to. Because they want to see it succeed. And it's not for them, it's for the school.
And it's of the utmost importance now to have that drive. It's even harder to be lazy now in college football. It's always been tough to win when you're lazy. It's even harder now.
You look at a bunch of hungry wolves.
Because it is a dog-eat-dog world. It was the wild, wild west. If you're caught sleeping in the wild, wild west, you're capped. That's what college football is now. You have to be hungry on the recruiting trail, the NIL market, talking to boosters, talking to players, talking to in the portal, talking to your own roster. You've got to be hungry because at any moment it can crumble. And that is what you've seen at a premium now in college football is you've got to find guys that have that drive to do this job year in, year out. There's no time for the golf course.
Certainly not if you're going to shoot 95. You're out there a minute. Like,
hey, don't hate on a 95, okay? It's on the top of my list right now.
Break 100.
Break 100.
Obviously, practice does not make perfect. No. You card over 200 rounds if we're still out here kicking it around for 95. And I doubt all of those are a clean 95. No, breakfast ball. Maybe it's a lunch ball. Gotta get out of here around 4. Game
Dinner-
starts in an hour.
Dinner ball.
Yeah.
No, it's but it's of the utmost importance to have that drive and that hunger and that desire, because if it was year-round job before, it's even more of a year-round job now, because you have to recruit high school players, you have to recruit portal players, and you know who else you have to recruit? Your own players. Getting them on campus is not the job. You have to keep them there.
And it's somebody, and I think that's where you saw like almost this tectonic shift in college football after it's becoming a young man's game because of how everything that's changed. It's no longer James Franklin, Brian Kelly, head figure like this. I've won a lot of football games now, son. And then go out there, get it done. It's people that want to be on the cutting edge and be able to evolve with the sport as it's changing. And I think a lot of that really is starting to like bear fruit. If you have the alumni base that LSU has, if you think we care about the university, if you think we care about the football team, we didn't care enough to make a goal of going to play football for it and going to do it for 4 years of, I hate this shit, but I love this place. Like, the guys that have done it, they don't leave for a reason.
Right.
Like, that's something that you can't, it's ingrained in who you are. And if it's a lot of the things that we're talking about, I just know that regardless if it was Shep and he win, lose, or draw, I know he's going to care. And that's really the one box that I'm trying to check this year or for this hire, because I can't have, for LSU's sake, for the fan base's sake, you can't go through that again. You can't have somebody waltz in here and take you for what you're worth and be like, he didn't get it. And this is a pivotal time for LSU. Every time you make a football hire, it's a huge one.
Right.
And this one is.
This is just like kind of where you were at in 21, because in 21 you were in a bad spot because the roster had been dismantled and the program was in a bad place. I think that the program's in a better place, and this, like, BK did leave the LSU program in a better place than when he got here because of how bad it was. But the culture of LSU has taken a severe hit in that it's changed. But the program itself is in a much better place than it was in 2021.
It was hard to be found in a worse state.
100%.
But in terms of what you had to do as a football coach, it was definitely a fixer-upper. And LSU should never be that. But in terms of what the culture was around the fan base, like, Ed O didn't let you lose that. Like, you were losing football games and things were going sour, but at the end of the day, you beat A&M. Like,
you fought Alabama tooth and nail.
Exactly, you fought. Like, and he knew the job was over, but you didn't get just your doors blown off. And it wasn't pretty at the end. But at least LSU, it felt like somewhat like they could still come up and get you. Like, don't sleep on LSU and Tiger Stadium. Now you can.
Yeah.
You can go over there and have Arkansas is looking at it. If Brian Kelly was still here, like, that's our turn. We're gonna go do the
chops.
Yeah, we're gonna go take the boot and put it in the middle of the eye, and like they ain't gonna do anything about it.
Yeah. No, I mean, Matthew Conkle. People need to be realistic. Your actual options are options probably look something like Kiffin, Sumrall, Dillingham, Brom, Freeman, and maybe Frank if he wins out. I think the options look Kiffin, I think, is number one through and through. I think that's the thought process. I definitely think Sumrall and Dillingham are probably on the short list. I think Shep is on the list. Brom is an interesting name, and I think Frank, if he wins out, is probably like it'll get a look. But I think Frank is your associate head coach, recruiting coordinator. Let him continue to feed the heartbeat of this program.
Do you
Gage Evans, great point. Petrino was looking at that game as his job interview.
No doubt. And he hates LSU.
Oh, no, he was looking at November, what is it, the 15th or 16th as like, I'm about to go label myself the Arkansas head football coach after that.
Yeah. I'm going to make a statement because what happened the last time he was in charge, quote unquote, when he was the head coach of Arkansas, it was 2011. And LSU did not take its foot off the gas. It was Tyrann Mathieu running punts back. It was stripping people at the 40 with 6 minutes to go, and you're up by 40. And that's what they shook hands at the middle of the field. It's like it was an FU contest, and Les was like, "What you fuck me for?" He's like, "No, you ran that shit up on me like that. That's not cool." But it was a time and an era in the BCS where you had to, because it was a computer point system, and also if you don't want me to, like Les was an asshole. If he's going to score, he'll fake it. He'll do whatever. If he's up 40, he doesn't care.
Right.
He's like, this is a fun play to run right now. And, like, there's you had Petrino over there like, fuck you.
Right.
And he's like, oh, what do you want to do? And so he's definitely looking at LSU. He's like, finally.
Yes.
He's had the serial killer circled. Like, I get to go back. And it's in disarray. Now, not as easy. But he was going to try to hang 100 on you.
Yeah, no, I mean,
And that's a great point. It was a job interview. He wants that job.
oh my gosh, fighting tooth and nail for that job. And he literally was licking his chops looking at LSU in Death Valley.
Yeah.
Like
that would be a statement win, and Arkansas would love it. And it still could happen. And he still could get that job. It's a great point.
Crazy with the cheese whiz. I'm thinking the combo of Frank Wilson and Atkins is going to work. LSU could have a good run-based offense. I'm intrigued to see what it looks like. There's been a lot of conversation about Atkins' play calling and the opportunity of, do you shift from Sloan to got your opportunity. It's right there. It's going to be very interesting to see what it looks like moving forward, just on the field standpoint. I think the mentality, like we said, is going to be back the intangibles. But from a structure, like this is what's always intrigued me. Atkins obviously will have a different style than Sloan when it comes to play calling. What do you spend these 2 weeks doing? Like, if you're the new play caller, right, you're taking over for the former one, are you going to go in and shift completely the way business is done, or are you going to hone in on the same principles that the guy before you had?
I mean, he's been an OC before. He has his own set of his own set of rules, his own style. That's what you do. What you do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sitting in the office looking over Joe Sloan's notes and Brian Kelly's notes and going, "Oh, well, this is what they know." Like, basic install, and you have 2 weeks to do it to be able to get like, this is how I do shit. Look, I know I might not be here, but for the next how many weeks? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? This is what we're going to do. And first of all, you simplify it, you make it fun. Like, it's not this hard ass. They just already did all of that, and they've had all the confusion, the checks. It's like, we're gonna line up and play football. Like, we all know how to do this, okay? And then, like, this is what I did when I was at Florida State. Won a lot of football games over there doing this.
Right.
Like, this works, and I'm sure he has some tenants from Norvell, and they've had a good bit of, like, they've had mobile quarterbacks too. I'm interested to see what they do there, because
that's probably the biggest thing. This whole mix, like is that spot.
I don't know what you do in that, because it was very like, and I think you would see a refresh in us. He was done. Cooked.
He was tired of that soap opera between those three, between Nuss, Kelly, and Sloan. He was done with that. They were all done with it. It was bad against Ole Miss, and it only got worse.
They just did not work together.
No.
And then you also had Atkins as a part of that. If you're Atkins, you look around and go, my kitchen. Like, finally.
Right.
There's just, behind, like, corner, like, bumping into people. Like, we can't have this many people in here. Let me cook. And finally, he gets the chef's table. It's up to him. There's nobody now. You can look around and say there's nobody else to blame.
Right.
Which is perfect. Like, for our perspective, whether it be a fan or in the media or just watching football in general, you didn't even know who to blame. Is it Nuss? Is it Sloan? Is it BK? Is it Atkins?
Yeah.
Now we should get to point to one person. And so it's his show.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure he relishes the opportunity. I would doubt he considers it a job opportunity in terms of, like, I can win this OC gig. But it certainly is a chance to get yourself another job unless you put up 50.
Yeah, what's a job interview?
And
can be, whether that means staying at LSU,
you're
whether
OC
that means
at LSU.
Right. No, I'm very intrigued to see what it's going to look like on the field moving forward, Because the intangibles and the mindset and the mentality that we were talking about in hour number 1 are going to be there with Frank at the helm. Now it's what is it going to look like on the field just from a playing standpoint, a play calling, a scheme, all of those things.
I'll simplify this for real quick. Do you think LSU will play better or worse next Saturday?
Better. The disease, and I'm not saying just Brian Kelly, but
the stench.
It's gone. The mess that we've talked about since week 2 with this offense is no longer there. The mess we talked about the soap opera with those 3 pieces. 2 of the 3 are gone now, right? It was Kelly, Nuss, Sloan. It was a mess from week 4, and it only got worse. You've nipped that in the bud. 2 of those 3 pieces are gone, and I think that just leads to a more comfortable atmosphere and dynamic to play in. Like, I don't think you see helmets getting slammed and insults and MFs getting hurled on the sideline. It's going to be so much better. I think one of the interesting things is what they do at the quarterback spot. I'm very intrigued with what LSU may do at the quarterback spot.
So Frank Wilson is trying to win this job, which I know he wants to win. I don't know what his aspirations are, if he wants to be an LSU head coach or not. I don't. I know he wants to. I think he can.
He loves LSU.
Right. I think he can look at it through 2 different lenses where he goes, I can do this part of the job, be the associate head coach, recruiting coordinator until I am in the dirt.
Right.
Nobody will take this from me because nobody's better at it than me. And I can do this for as long as I like, and I will be seen and revered as a legend. If I want to take one more crack at my dream job, and this is my opportunity to do it, I'm going to go full steam ahead, then he will I could see him making a shakeup and go, the first telltale sign of that would be if Van Buren starts.
Because to me, that's almost a 2026 pitch of getting prepared for what the future will hold. Because Nussmeier's not going to be here next year, regardless of what happens. He's not going to be at LSU a year from now. And so it's going to be very almost telling when you see how the dynamic works out moving forward. Because you've got 4 games left in your schedule, 3 of them being SEC contests. And then, if you handle business against Western Kentucky, which you should, you will be bowl eligible and you'll have a bowl game. So you have multiple opportunities. And I think even if Nuss does finish out the year, Van Buren likely starts the bowl game, regardless of how things go down.
I need to put out some tape. Right now, he's not getting.
I need to put some film together.
I don't know.
No, the film he should put together is the Georgia SEC championship game. I saw that pop up on my Twitter feed, and I was like,
"What happened?
What happened?"
Yeah. Well, Mike Denbrock left because he didn't want to work with a guy that he was already working with, and said, "I'm going home."
Yeah, whatever. But it is a new situation. It's a new age. There's a new energy around LSU football right now.
Oh, do you know how different these conversations would be in the bye week? That's why I'm so. And I think Gage said it in the chat where he goes, "I didn't think LSU would have the cojones to do it because they never have."
I don't even think they went into Sunday with that as the
because LSU always take half steps.
Right.
This was not that. The last time they did it was what, Les? And it took his final act of, here's my move. This is, y'all want the old Les special?
Right.
Let me run out the clock and
against
score.
Auburn.
Let's
all celebrate and then find out.
Let me mismanage the clock one last time and score a touchdown. It's that would have saved his job again.
Because, and it feel like this season is very similar to what it was 10 years ago with Les in 2015, where I anticipated this year with BK, they were going to hold him through to the end of the year. He's going to go 8-4, roll into the start of next season. They're going to act Sloan and whoever hold on to the
one
job.
More
and
coordinator.
He would try the start of the season. If they start 1-2, just like 2016 with Les Miles. That was literally how it played out. Was he goes 8-4, and then
I'm going to change the offense.
You go into 2016, and it was bad. And so then he gets fired in the season. And so I thought that was going to be the case, but instead LSU and ultimately Louisiana made the right decision to close that door in that chapter and move forward.
And I don't think that you're going to get, considering the public reaction and then the stories you're getting from the team, like the Matthew Langlois thing is heartbreaking.
I mean, absolute. Like when I read that, it stopped me in my tracks. Like, that's a young man that was 19 years old and was treated in such a manner, and it's just like that. Though it's not who LSU is. What does LSU do? LSU takes care of their own. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of the situation, that's who LSU has been. LSU takes care of their people. And that was not the case in this era of LSU football.
I'll read you the quote because it's not my words. It didn't happen to me.
This is per Matthew Langlois on his Twitter.
I was forced to medically retire before I could get a second or third opinion, Langlois said. When I was playing very well before my injury, I'd hear from Coach Kelly quite often. The second I got injured, not a word since. Genuinely one of the worst human beings I've ever been around. Unless you were producing positively for him on the field, he could care less about you. He'd pass me in the hallways, not a glimpse, not a word. He's only in it for the money and himself. Absolutely ruined the culture of LSU football, and I hope people see the real Brian Kelly. Like, you can't. He didn't even let the man play football anymore. Like, even go look to go get another opinion. He just said that you're done. And well, that is like, I don't know if you get to take somebody's future like that from him. I'm sure he could have gone to play somewhere else and maybe very well would have got a second, third opinion. It wouldn't have gone great. You know, it would have been like, you can't do this. But the last part of it, I hope people see the real Brian Kelly. And like, of course, coaches are going to care about who's helping you.
Of course.
That's how life works.
Yeah.
That's how the world is. If you're producing for me, if you're a boss and you have a great employee, like, what's up, buddy? A lot easier to do with that than somebody that's struggling and you're like, what are we really going to talk about? But to kind of force him into a football retirement and just see the way it was handled, where even if I am being medically retired, don't you think you want to check on me?
Right.
Like, you would want to be able to be like, dude, I'm still, how are you doing? What's going on? What are your plans? How can I help? It's get out. Like, I'm not talking to you. You're not worth my time because you're not doing anything for me. And those are the worst type of leaders. If you're not helping me get what I want.
Right. Then I don't care.
It's not we, it's me. That doesn't work.
And that's not who LSU football has ever been.
It's not who LSU is.
And that's not who Louisiana is.
Exactly.
You take care of your own. The Cajun Navy will hop in their boats and pull you out of your house when it's flooding. Like, it's not who Louisiana is. And that's why it wasn't a fit. It has nothing to do with where BK's from. It wasn't a fit because they didn't care. I think, what was it, Cobble put out that tweet yesterday? Which, shout out to Cobble. He should take multiple victory laps. And I'm trying to get him on the show because I
just want to hear.
That man say, but he said, where's it at? Because he was talking about fit at LSU. He was like, it has nothing. Here it is. People talk about fit at LSU. Do you want to know what the fit is? Care. Care for LSU as much as the blue-collar people who bust their tail to buy a jersey and get to go to 1 or 2 games a year because someone gave them the crappy game tickets. Care about what they love. That's the fit. The fit is care. You care about LSU. You care about Louisiana. You care about the butts that are in the seats. That's the fit. The fit is taking care of Matthew Langlois and making sure he's taken care of in that situation. That's who Louisiana is. when there's a hurricane or a flood, you hop in your boat and you go help people pull out their. You walk around the community and you help people. I remember, in 2016, my freshman year of high school, there was the flood, and Central flooded because Central is between two rivers. And you spend the next 2 months helping people tear down their houses and homes. That's who Louisiana is. That's why the fit didn't work. Didn't care. The fit is caring. And he didn't care.
And it's not just, I'm sure people will take this the wrong way and say Brian Kelly can't say anything because of legalities and all that. Didn't even reach out to Kyron Lacey. Didn't reach out to Kyron Lacey's parents. And Kyron Lacey's dad said, well, other coaches came to the home.
Right. And Kyron's mom came out and took the other side of that argument, of that he had reached out. But it's just the fact that comes out, and it's believable because you see the Matthew Langlois. You've heard the Greg Brooks story. There's all of these. The Charles Turner article that came out last year that was written. For Coach Kelly, I think this is a different dynamic for him. When I was playing for Kelly the last 2 years, I didn't talk to him. I started every game for him. Just, hey, hi, how are you doing? And that was really it. We never talked to X's and O's. I never sat in his office and got personal with him. He really never got to know me. Turner said he hopes Kelly can get it turned around, but added he might not be the best fit for LSU. He's definitely a good coach, but as far as championships and all that other stuff, you got to come a different way with your players. Turner said you have to let your players know that you really got them. And that last line, you have got to let your players know that you really got them, is what? It's care. You've got to care. That's genuinely what it comes down to. It comes down to caring. Another thing I want to point out is that Wilson Alexander's first day back at work after the passing of his wife was Sunday. And first off, 2 claps for that man. Ready. Can't even imagine what the time has been like and the struggle and to push through. But to get back out there and be on Panda Watch outside the football facility, credit to Wilson, man. And that's why he is one of the best in the business. And I advise all of you that are watching, go follow Wilson, go show him some love, retweet, make sure Wilson feels the love from all of us. Because I can't even imagine and fathom what the time has been like for him. And he was back out there working his tail off for each and every one of us on Sunday when the news broke. And I can't wait to get Wilson back on to talk some ball with him very soon. So, look, we'll take a quick break here as we've gotten close to the end of hour number 2 this morning. And we will be right back with more Tingle & Co. right after this.
Tom and Wright Granding at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Go Martin has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
Wardo's was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Granning at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Go Martin has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff.
Where everyone is family.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
Shout out to Peyton Houston, the LSU quarterback commit, dropping that on Twitter the other day, where it won't be entrusted. Let me pull let me get the verbatim here. What does it say? The pride and tradition of the LSU Tigers won't be entrusted to the weak or the timid. Shout out to the LSU quarterback commit, Peyton Houston. Amen. Couldn't have said it better myself. The pride and tradition of LSU football.
He has been on it. Vocal for LSU. That's what you want. And you saw this, you've seen this a couple of times.
Right.
Colin Hurley was like this.
Yep.
And very much all in on the LSU. Keelan Moses, absolutely. Like, these are the ones that you want, and this is a hard time to be able to do it because at Peyton Houston, even with all of the shakeup, I'm sure it was, who do you imagine led his recruitment? Sloan?
Yeah.
I would think so. And now that he's gone, he's still all in on LSU. It's basically trusting the blind. Right. There's no clue what direction they're going, where they're going to go, what they're going to do. But Peyton Houston believes in himself and believes that if he goes to LSU, it don't matter who it is.
Right.
I can play. And it's going to be a massive,
there's a lot. It's and I know there's still 4 games left in the season, but
he's got a year.
This is going to be quite the.
He's 2027, correct?
Yes, he's a junior.
So he's got time.
He does. But so is Elijah Haven. Mm-hmm. Which is obviously, as much as I think he's crystal ball to Alabama, there's still, you don't have a head coach. And so whenever you get your new head coach, then these conversations all open back up, of who you want, what you go do.
Because
I'm excited for what the future holds.
You do have, and it's even more of a testament to Peyton Houston to put that out, because this is who was there. So you get your ass kicked.
Yep, there's that 2027 class. Ahmad Hudson, Easton Royal, those two are I don't know if you've seen some film of those two guys play, but they're pretty impressive. And if I'm Ahmad Hudson, regardless of wins and losses, I'm just looking at the way they're using Trey Ed's Green and saying, okay, like that.
Right. And if
you see Jaden Anding down there, Aiden Anding's little brother. Easton Royal, obviously, he's had plenty of quotes saying the best in the boot stay in the boot. There's some big.
What if you're an interior offensive lineman? Also, you think you have an opportunity there?
Right. No, there's some LA up there at the top.
A whole lot of Louisiana
up there at the top, and so it's a It's a pivotal time.
But I don't think
For
that.
LSU football.
I don't know how you leave that game and go.
Oh, no. Especially if I've got A&M on my list.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why you had to make this change.
Yeah.
Of
You're refreshed.
That's not the LSU you saw that night.
And who was here's the number 1 athlete in the country?
Lamar Brown.
He was also
committed
there.
To LSU, who was in a battle with Texas A&M for him, but who was his lead recruiter? It wasn't Brian Kelly. It was Frank Wilson. And that's where my confidence comes in with that whole mix of the recruiting aspect of it. Is the guy they're committed to is now the interim head football coach.
This is not something that I am. We talked about it a little bit before the show, or during the show, at the beginning of the show.
Right.
Not worried about the recruiting class.
No,
not.
I trust Frank Wilson, Corey Raymond.
Now, what will happen is the negative recruiting. They don't even know who their head coach is going to be. Like,
Right.
what are you signing up for?
And at the same time with transfer portal aspect,
yeah.
I mean, if
LSU, I mean, who could they? I guess you look at those guys that we named early, but other than that, you're losing so much already that you would hope that if you're transferring, why transfer when you can stay and play?
And that's where, I look back at 21 to 22. The reason, in my opinion, as much as they hit on Jaden out of the portal, which played a huge factor, B.J. Ojolari stayed, Jacqueline Roy stayed, Jay Ward stayed, Micah Baskerville stayed, Malik Neighbors stayed, Kayshawn Booty stayed, Jeray Jenkins stayed, Brian Thomas Jr. stayed. These guys that, as much as you had 39 scholarship players, because it was 39, Chris Hilton stayed. You had 39 scholarship players that stayed. You had some heavy hitters and people that played. Now, you hit on your portal gets. Mekhi Gardner was great. Jark Bernard Converse. Go down the list of some of these guys you went and pulled out of the portal and the impact they made. You kept some key pieces in the transfer from O to Kelly.
Yeah.
Key pieces. I just listed off. Ojolari, Roy, Ward, Baskerville, Neighbors, Thomas, Jenkins. And then you hit on a couple portal guys. You hit on a couple high school guys.
Bang, bang,
and
boom.
That's how
you're
you
in the
go
SEC
from
championship.
6-6 to the SEC championship. That's where the sport has changed. So that's why it's of the utmost important. Guys like Harlan Berry, Trey Green, DJ Pickett, PJ Woodland, Dominic McKinley. Those names where it's let's make sure we can hold on to that.
And that's where we push back on Rowe a little bit, because he was saying it's as much as he knew that
right.
You needed to fire BK, is don't get it twisted. This is a hit because of you have to rebuild everything again. And we were kind of well, you've seen this work out
right
for other Texas A&M, and even Lane Kiffin referenced it. It's I think that college culture is becoming much more like the NFL culture, where you used to have time in college. They would hire you to rebuild it, and then it became, now if you can pay players and you have the transfer portal, which is essentially free agency, if you're not getting the job done, you're cut. They'll fire you. And then because you can see the success that Elko's had in, from year 1 to year 2? That is the difference for
even the success
how college football has changed. 1. Yeah, but I would just how much you can, how quickly you can build it.
Right. If you're able to hold on to key pieces and check a couple of boxes, with the biggest one being, if you can go get your quarterback, you're in a great spot. You know what I mean?
Keep your quarterback.
Keep your quarterback. Go get your a lot of the reason why A&M is as comfortable as they are going from year 1 to year 2 was because Marcel Reed has checked the box. You know what I mean? Well, you look at Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia has checked the box. That's what it comes down to. As much as you want to hit in some of these other places, keep your quarterback or find your quarterback, and you're in a really good place. So that's the footprint, and that's the blueprint looking forward. But let's close out the morning strong this morning here on this Tuesday as we roll through the open date. I believe we will have a show on Friday but I will not be here in person on Friday. I will remote in via the Zoom
From sunny
on Friday from Denver, Colorado, as I'll be on a bachelor's trip. Shout out to my guy Bailey, who's getting married on the Saturday of Western Kentucky. So we'll have to miss that game.
If you're gonna pick one,
No, I'm fine with it. I double-checked the date because I saw November 22nd. I was like, wait, is that Oklahoma? Is that
right?
Arkansas? Wait, Western Kentucky. I was like,
I don't know.
you're good. They might.
LSU
That might be LSU might be fighting for bowl eligibility.
Or they could be fighting for a playoff
They
spot.
could be fighting. I mean, hey. you
But
never
after
know.
Alabama, you'd want to go to the Western Kentucky game if LSU beat Alabama. Like, I gotta go.
I gotta be in this Western Kentucky matchup. But I will be zooming in from Denver on Friday. But let's.
What's the weather gonna be
Sabrion.
like?
Sabrion's got his wedding on the Arkansas game. Come on now.
Sad.
Sad. We gotta watch LSU take care of Petrino in Death Valley. See, Veal, I'm afraid we'll screw ourselves. We put all our eggs in the Kiffin basket. I really think that's kind of where LSU's mindset is, but I don't think you'll be screwed if you do, because I think there are other options, but I think Kiffin is the hot name, and Gage said it in the chat earlier that Kiffin's Twitter looks like he's staying home, but
He does this all. Don't do that to
don't fall for
yourself.
it. Don't fall. It just.
This is his favorite thing to do.
Oh, I mean, he's This is LaneKiffin.com, and the behind the scenes is
And that's what's so
JimmySexton.com. Like,
that's what's so funny about him is like people say, "Oh, it's distracted." It's like this takes 2 seconds for him to do.
Right.
He is on Twitter a lot. Like he sees everything, but that's okay. I mean, he popped up on the Pat McAfee show and he knew everything that College Game Day said. He watched it, and I don't know if he watched it before the game, but they weren't playing much. Played pretty soon after that.
and which is impressive because he still went out there and like won a game he doesn't win. Lane Kiffin doesn't win those games. When all this is circling around and there are these rumors and this mess, and then he went out on the road and took down Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like this isn't the same old little Lane.
No, that drop. Yeah,
Right.
right. Gets to the top of the mountain, falls down the hill.
Right. And gets to the top mountain, now there's all these rumors and it's getting messy and he's all over social media. Let's drop the game in Norman. Nope. Handle
And
business.
then he said what? Went back at their coach.
Yep.
Say, I don't know about that. I think we left like 3 touchdowns on the board. Like he just filled himself, and he always is though.
Yeah, always.
Lane lacks. If Lane ever loses his fastball or his confidence, that is not Lane Kiffin.
No, it's
That is
not.
an imposter,
Yeah, it's some other.
human being. It's an alien man.
Let's see. What do we have here? We have the.
What do we have here? Texas teams, baseball.
Yeah, we have some Texas teams. We have the Longhorns, the Rockets, the Astros, and the Rangers. That's the 4. Some Texas professional teams, huh?
Yep.
Let's see. Nope.
Okay, I thought so.
Okay,
Right.
whoa, here we go. Texas. No, the University of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder. No, never mind. I was going to say Kevin Durant, but there's no Brooklyn Nets. Let's see.
This is interesting because I don't
There's
know what it
some
is.
great logos. Okay. The Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Kraken. The Seattle Mariners. And then not Texas. And then I think that green logo right above it is Seattle.
That
as
is
well.
that's the needle.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Then you've got the Warriors, the Thunder.
Well, this could be
Right,
Kevin
It could
Durant.
be Kevin Durant just missing the Nets. Yeah, it's KD. Okay.
Texas.
And then you've got
Oakland Athletics.
Astros, A's, Angels, Rangers. I mean, those are just 4 baseball teams. But then you have the
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
the Las Vegas Knights, the
Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Golden Gophers, the
Cal Bears. This is interesting because I don't know. Oakland Athletics. I mean, these are all.
So let's go Golden Knights, Golden Gophers, Cal, and Tulsa.
Golden Bears.
And then just the 4 baseball teams. Pow, 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 pow.
I wonder what that is. AOS. See, I don't do those
There
things.
we go.
Nice. That was kind of a grind.
Yeah.
Good call with the golden. Al Golden was not on that list.
No, he wasn't.
Noodle trivia.
Let's go 13 for 13 on this beautiful morning. This beautiful Tuesday. I used to have a basketball coach that said Tuesday.
Tuesday.
The Pete Goldings. Ha, good one.
Same Tuesday. We're doing this already?
Oh, what a time to be alive, huh?
Is old buddy coming in today?
He is.
What time?
Our guy Wyatt, probably right after the show's over.
Good for Wyatt. What?
What? Let's see.
NFL.
Let's go.
Nope.
Oh, Scarlett Johansson.
And Andrew Luck. No, that is John Krasinski.
Yeah, I think it's John.
Timothy? That's the one.
It's Krasinski. And ScarJo. ScarJim.
Scarjim. Scared me. Jim Crow.
Jim Halpert.
Oh, it is, yeah. Huh. What's his real name?
Krasinski.
John.
Yeah. Yep. Bang. ScarJo.
I would recognize that one. Anyway. Fred Taylor.
The final 2 seasons of his NFL career with this AFC team from 2000, was that 8 to 2010?
2009.
9 and 10?
Is he a Buffalo Bill? He was a Jacksonville.
Yeah, he spent the majority of his career in Jacksonville.
Yeah, you know where he's from, college-wise.
Yes. That's what my brain is only in that state right now.
Why? Oh, for Fred Taylor?
For Fred
I wonder if
Taylor.
he went back.
I'm trying to think. I mean, AFC teams. I feel like it's got to be one of those Patriots. They're saying the New England Pats.
Oh,
Patriots. I would not have gotten there. College football should know this one. As of this week, this SEC school ranked inside the top 10 of the AP poll for the first time since 1937. I would say that's Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. The Vanderboys.
The Vandy Boys. After 15 years with his original franchise, this Hall of Famer led the American League in hits and earned the 1983 World
93.
Series 93 World Series MVP honors in his first year with the Blue Jays. One thing that has changed is I can no longer read that screen as well in the new studio because it's farther away than the last one.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's pretty far away.
So, like, the numbers, like,
Yeah, it could be 1883. Yeah, that's tough.
The numbers really throw me for a loop.
Is it Carter? Gary Carter?
Molitor? Paul Molitor? That's what the Molitor.
Would not have gotten it.
That's what the chat's saying. That's what the people are saying. This 1850
Nathaniel Hawthorne novel follows a woman in the Scarlet Letter.
There you go.
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlet
Letter.
Scarlet
So
Letter.
what's happening? Typically in blue wrappers, this brand of candy features the world's first it's a candy, then it's gum on its packaging. Is that a blue pop?
I'm thinking of a blow pop, but are they in blue wrappers? First it's a candy, then it's gum. The blow pop's the only thing I can think of because
That's their go-to.
it's a sucker and then it's gum on the inside.
Am I getting
What
any
is it?
pushback
What
on
is it?
blue pop?
I'm trying to see. Brian Burgess says Razzles. Okay.
Oh, they don't have, a Razzle doesn't have like the exterior hard shell. It's like it's just turns into gum.
Oh, it's just
It's
gum.
weird. It's like candy. It is like you have to get there. I guess it's like a harder gum,
Okay.
but it's soft. It's not. I
I've
wouldn't
never
say
had a Razzle.
I wouldn't say it's worth it, but I have had one. I'm not on the hunt for razzles.
Remember how we brought up Whoppers the other day?
Yeah.
I had a Whopper yesterday. I had a little thing, the little 3 Whoppers. Not that bad.
Told you they're not bad.
I just hated them as a kid.
Yeah, because
As a kid, you were pissed when you get a Whopper.
Yeah,
in your
so it's
Halloween
you
basket.
know your palate is underdeveloped.
Right. Where are my Starburst and Skittles?
Right.
I don't want
And
a Whopper.
Snickers and
Right.
you know
Milky Way.
Milky Way.
I love the Milky Way.
A Whopper it's on the lower tier.
Yes, but it's not a bad candy.
No.
I will no longer scoff.
See, and I put it in the won't buy it, will eat it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
right there with you. I'm not gonna get Whoppers at the movie theater.
No, but if somebody gets some, you want some Whoppers, like, yeah, I'll take a couple.
Yeah, I'll have a few. What we have here?
Since 1990, Treehouse of Horror refers to an annual Halloween-themed episode from this long-running program.
The Simpsons. I believe.
The Simpsons.
Ty Simpson.
Make him a cartoon. While the
Wally.
character had appeared in previous short films and anthology works, the horror villain Art the Clown made a standalone feature debut in this 2016 cult favorite.
what's it
Is it
called?
It?
No, it is Pennywise. Art the Clown is the. What's the name of the movie? He's frightening. What is the movie called?
No, it's Art the Clown.
Oh my gosh. It's something. It's like a word for scary.
Spooky.
No.
Frightening.
What's the word for when you get scared? Terrified.
Terrified.
It's terrify something. Terrify.
Terrifier?
Yeah, Terrifier. That's it. That's it.
Nice. Good pull.
Released in 2018. Oh, this is
This is America.
This is America.
No, that was
Was that 2018? No.
No.
2018 was late. It was
20
later than 2018, wasn't it? 2018 would have been 3005 is a Childish Gambino song. I feel like This Is America is the only one that would have been this popular. So maybe it was in 2018. I feel like it was later, but
record of the year. I thought that
it's got to be that one.
It is.
That's the only one.
that-
the
that-
rest of his music didn't get that mainstream.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on
yeah,
this
yeah.
Tuesday morning. Huh? We appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on this Tuesday morning. And make sure, if you are new here, you like, you subscribe, you share with your friends and family, and you take a stranger's phone and subscribe for them. They'll appreciate it. We will be back tomorrow. Hey, Gage and Billy, how about y'all hop off, or you'll get your mod removed.
Yeah.
Noah wanted to trick or treat every night for candy. Noah trick or treats in his freezer every night for ice cream. Noah's Halloween candy didn't last one night. You guys.
And now I do picture you kind of like, like when you're going to the freezer, like, ooh, like a little treat for
Yeah, of
yourself.
course.
Run like a child. Scamper over there.
Losers.
I mean,
I appreciate you guys tuning in.
I eat candy all the time. I've got a big bag of Airheads and a little thing of mini Twix, a little thing of mini Airheads for the kids,
for the children.
and now they're gone.
Hunter Hall milkshake money bet on Alabama LSU. Let me sleep on that, Hunter.
With the spread 21.5, I'll do it.
Yeah, the spread's 21.5. You're kidding.
No,
21.5.
that's what I heard.
Oh my god! Well, it wouldn't be out now yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was the original, but you know how those things
Right,
change. People
right,
are like, I saw the opening lines. It's like, where? I don't ever get to see those.
ESPN bet might have something. Let me see. LSU football, LSU Alabama. See if they have any early lines here. No, it doesn't look like they have ESPN bet ready. All right. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on this Tuesday morning. Like I said, make sure you like, subscribe. When we shut down, when the stream ends, leave a comment. It definitely helps us out. And we will be back tomorrow morning at 7 to 9 a.m.
Do it all again.
Yep.